You're watching Gold Rush in a Rush, and we're recapping the Season 7 premiere episode, Miracle on the Mountain. So what happened? The day after his grandfather's funeral, Parker reveals his plan for this season, and he reveals his new Australian girlfriend, Ashley. Remember for years how he said he's going to get his own claim? Well, it's still not happening. He spent the winter designing a new ultimate wash plant, but his team doesn't seem impressed. To cut costs, this year he will run with half the crew, but the same goal of 3,000 ounces. His crew wants more, but Parker doesn't want to pay a royalty to Tony, so they get to work. For about 5 minutes, before Parker gets the first machine stuck this season, a dozer which Rick needs to dig out. Tony arrives and Parker tries to negotiate a lower royalty, but that goes nowhere. The $600,000 wash plant is delivered and needs to be dragged into position. There's swearing, broken cables, and talk of Parker's season being on the line. Blah, blah, blah. It takes forever, and no one dies. It's put in position, turned on, and high fives are exchanged. Their mining season can now begin. Tony's got a new dredge, only it's bigger and harder to move than the last one. There's talk of disassembly, barges, tugboats, and traveling 150 miles by river and road. But all I'm hearing is a complete repeat of last season. And to prove it, Tony begins disassembling the dredge with a sledgehammer, just like last year. Meanwhile, Kevin has sunk the original dredge. The pontoons are leaking, and it's half underwater. He tries to drain the pond by opening the outlets, but it doesn't help, because he didn't close the inlets. And then he does, and all is well, until Tony arrives. Is he happy? What do you think? They try and start the generator, but will it explode? Sadly, no. It starts just fine. Monica's all-girl crew is clearing overburden in front of the dredge when it hits bedrock and can't break through. Kevin tries to smash through, which fails. Monica tries to dig it out, which fails. So they flood the pond to float over it and flood out Monica's crew in the process. Tony arrives to do some motivational swearing, and then they perform a clean-out. At the end of the week, they find 258.5 ounces, and the first dredge is paid for. Great, maybe he'll buy a third one. Todd starts the season with a long, boring drive into the hills of Oregon, to the promised land of High Bar Mine. The entire claim is already set up, and includes a wash plant no one knows how to run. The goal this year, 5,000 ounces. Sure, why not? Hoist a flag, say a prayer, and tap your helmets. It's time to mine. They go to turn on the wash plant, except it's completely locked down. The claim owners refuse to let Todd use it unless they run it themselves. So this year, Todd's been given both a set-up claim and experienced workers. What exactly is he bringing to the table? They do a 2,000-yard test run and produce 3.55 ounces. Sad faces are everywhere because we're told Todd's reputation is on the line. I'd say Todd is living up to his reputation perfectly. He seems ready to give up, but the claim owners convince him to keep going. 5 days later, they shut down and clean out. They find 35 ounces. 35 ounces? Now we see Todd's angry face. They say they need a miracle, so they pray for one. Will it come true? I guess we'll find out next week. Join us next time when Todd Hoffman takes a mammoth tusk to the knee. And don't forget to watch the previous episodes of Gold Rush in a Rush, including my wild over-analysis of Todd's first 6 seasons of mining.